Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to film a haircut video, or how I do it at least. Let's get into it. How to film a haircut tutorial video. So your gear doesn't really matter for the most part. I mean, nowadays people's phones are like great quality, you know, especially compared to how I started off. Like, this is still a great camera. The Canon Rebel T3i, really good camera actually. And from that camera is what I was able to film my most viewed videos, you know. But yeah, don't get wrapped up in gear. I'm using nowadays this beast right here. It's a Panasonic S1, and this is just a monitor, so it's easier to see. But yeah, don't feel like you need to worry too much about gear. If you have a good phone, that should be solid for you. So yeah, what I would invest in is getting yourself a nice tripod. This is a pretty heavy duty one. You guys could probably get a cheaper one that's a little lighter, or maybe even one of these. This is a monopod. This might be easier just to move around the barbershop. You could just put your camera sitting on here. This is easier if you want to film like your hands or something like that, you know, that's a good option for you. Dude, what the But this is probably the most popular option right now for a lot of YouTube barbers. Just getting a ring light. Comes with a little option for you to slide in your camera onto. And then they normally all come with like a light stand. You just pop it on there, just put your camera or your phone, just sit it right there, and yeah, just go from there. It gives you good lighting, and I know it's a popular option from a lot of YouTube barbers. You can get something like this to hold your phone. See, just boom, holds it like that. You can easily record. And then at the bottom you just get a a shoe adapter, a 1/4 camera hot shoe mount. I'll put it on the screen so you guys can take a look. And get one like the one I'm showing, because it's easy to adjust the angle, the tilt of it. Only problem is it's going to be locked on there. So you may want to get something like this, a ball head, quick release. So that way you could just easily take off your camera. If you want to get some close shots whenever the haircut's done, you know, it's easy to just take your camera off the stand instead of having to like unscrew it and like twirl your camera around. It's a whole mess. But yeah, relatively not that much equipment that you need. The ring light, or just a tripod stand, quick release plate, or you could just do the hot shoe mount if you want to do a cheaper option. Then maybe just your phone, cheaper camera, you know. And then yeah, just you and, you know, your barber equipment, I guess. And over time you're gonna just, you know, get used to the angles. You know, it's gonna kind of be like a trial and error. What I recommend and what I see a lot of YouTubers are doing is they're kind of placing their camera a little higher and pointing slightly down at an angle, and it's almost giving you like an over-the-shoulder shot of the haircut. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're filming yourself cutting hair, you are gonna be cutting hair like a little awkwardly, a little differently than you would normally, obviously, because you have to turn out a little bit at an angle so that way the camera can see what it is you're doing, you know. You can't just be like blocking it, you know, because you're not going to see any of the shots, right? So you just got to keep that in mind. It's going to take you a little longer than what it would normally take you just to do the haircut, because you got to be keeping that in mind. You got to be adjusting the camera angles. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as editing is concerned, you can edit it on whatever your preferred method is. I use an Apple. You guys can use a PC. They have Premiere Pro for that. It's really good. Or even just your phone. I know they have a lot of good phone editing apps now. So, and for the most part, you just kind of want to be showing, you know, like the before, the middle, and end, you know. You want to show the hair being taken off. You want to show the transformation, you know, getting good angles on, you know, the lineup, some of the most important parts for a haircut video. And what a lot of YouTube barbers do is they speed up the footage around 2 times as fast, 4 times as fast, even 8 times as fast. And yeah, what that does, it obviously speeds up the footage, and it kind of gives it like a time-lapse type of look. Especially if the camera is not moving, it's going to definitely give you like that time-lapse type of feel. Another good thing you guys could do is film in slow motion. At least 60 frames per second, and then you can slow that down. A lot of phones nowadays do slow motion. So that can really bring your video an added, I don't know, cinematic feel to it, you know, especially if you're getting cool shots. Like I always like to get shots of like the water bottle. You can see all the little water particles moving in slow motion. Shots of like, you know, if you're trimming hair off the top or, you know, just taking hair off the sides, getting that at an angle where like there's a light, where there's like a light behind it and you can just kind of see the hair particles easier flying away from the hair. That looks pretty cool. Those are some of my go-to shots, especially when I'm filming somebody else. And the camera I use is a full frame camera, so that means it's using the entirety of the sensor compared to like a cropped camera, you know, where the sensor is kind of like cut in, like what I'm filming on now. The GH5S, that's like a crop sensor camera. Pros and cons to both of them. Crop sensor cameras are really good. That's what I was using. This is a crop sensor camera when I first started. I mean, yeah, some of the pros are that they're a lot cheaper than full frame cameras. Lenses are cheaper as well. But yeah, the quality is always going to be better on full frames. I mean, but for the most part, a lot of people are just watching stuff on their phones nowadays. So some of that quality difference, like you may not even really notice. Like the general audience won't really even notice some of the differences. But yeah, if you're just filming to show off your haircuts, you know, I think a crop sensor would be, it's totally fine. Your phone, you know, it's totally fine. They have great quality, like I was saying, nowadays on these phones, and these do slow motion as well. So, and then as far as the editing is concerned, it's pretty cut and dry. You're just gonna drag all of the footage into your timeline, and it's gonna be in order, you know. So you're not gonna have to like rearrange clips or anything like that, because the haircut videos are gonna be edited in like sequence, like beginning of the haircut, middle. You know what I'm saying? You just go around, edit some of the slow moments. I normally do like an initial little edit, just getting the shots that I know I'm gonna want to use, speeding up shots that I know are gonna be kind of boring, but like keeping the pace going for the video. And then yeah, after my first like rough edit, I'll go back and I'll find a song, or in my case, I make a lot of my own beats. I had to learn how to do that in the beginning because I kept on getting copyright strikes from songs I would use. So that would mean any ad revenue that I would get, it would go to the guy who made the beat, you know? So even though if you see on YouTube, sometimes they're kind of scammy, or it's happened to me a few times though, where it says it's royalty free or free to use. You just leave a link in your description to them or something like that. Sometimes that does work out. Only cons are that you're gonna have to have their tag on the song, you know, like whatever beats production, you know. I don't know what happens, but sometimes it like switches over time where I will get a copyright strike on that, and they'll be claiming the video. Then it really sucks because your video is already uploaded to YouTube, and really your only options would be take the video off YouTube and re-edit it, like put a new song in there and then re-upload it. But of course you're gonna lose all the views, you know, whatever you accumulated for that video. Or you can use the route where you just replace the song with whatever royalty-free music YouTube has, which I've done that before on some of my older videos, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's kind of slim pickings on the YouTube music, in my opinion. There's tons of sites where you can get like a yearly subscription, and you can download as many songs as you want, and you can use them for your videos. Of course, you go down the route of making your own beats. Just know music is very important to your video. Don't just skimp on that and at the last second toss in some song that you found on YouTube search, you know, for like free beats or something. It could come back and bite you in the ass. And lastly is the voiceover. A lot of barbers are doing voiceovers on their haircuts, where they're just basically telling you what they're doing. You can see whatever works for you guys if you want to do that. In the beginning, I was just filming other barbers cut hair, so that was it. I would just film them, edit it to music, and at the time, you know, they did pretty well. Then later on, when I would film myself cutting hair, I started doing voiceovers of me telling you what I was doing, you know. I don't know, I just always felt a little weird, like kind of voicing over another barber's haircut, like telling you everything that he's doing, you know. I'd rather him do that himself, you know. But yeah, just keep in mind, a lot of people who may come across your videos are gonna be people who are coming up the ladder behind you, you know. So in other words, they are young barbers, you know. They're just getting into it, or they're in school right now, or they're thinking about it, you know. Or maybe they're just cutting their own hair, or like their friend's hair at the house right now. For the most part, you're not gonna have, you know, established barbers watching your content, because they're either making their own content or they're too busy cutting your hair or whatever else they're into. I know whenever I was first learning, I started to watch a lot of YouTube barbers at the time. Shout out to Jay the Barber, one of the OGs. So yeah, just see what's out there, what you like, and try to grab a little bit from everything, and doing that will kind of make your own unique video. I recommend just doing it, and it's practice. You're only going to get better, just like cutting hair. You're going to get better with each haircut, as long as you're being mindful and learning from your past trials and error. That's going to be the same with filming. I've been through a lot of trial and error where I thought I was recording. It's like, oh, this is going to be a dope haircut. It's like, oh man, I wasn't recording that this whole time, or the SD card got messed up or something. So yeah, that's my tips for filming a haircut tutorial video. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But yeah, like I said, I will be transitioning more of the content on this channel more to filmmaking and video producing based stuff. So let me know if you have any questions for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.